I'm the Book Baron. Welcome in, everybody. So today I'm really excited. We're doing the audiobook era tag that Jess from Honest Fiction created.
Hello! This might be a new record for the earliest voiceover I've ever had to do. That was very dramatic for no apparent reason and involved singing yet again. What is wrong with me? Well, many things, but that's not the point. Okay, so I'm here to let you know if there's a few inconsistencies that you notice with this video, it's because I filmed this a hella long time ago and I just got around to editing this footage. I filmed it the second I saw that I had been tagged in it and then promptly forgot about it. And then I rediscovered this footage and I'm delivering it to you now. But anyways, I just want to pop in and just let you know that because I'm sure there's going to be an eagle-eyed viewer or two that will notice. To that I say, good on you. You got me. This footage is crusty. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed the video.
I've been tagged like numerous times. I know for sure I've been tagged twice. I think I've been tagged more. I know for sure that I was tagged by Monica from Pardon This Book Addict and April from Happily Ever April. I feel like I'm missing somebody. I'm so sorry to whoever that person is. I feel really bad. I'm gonna go into excuse mode though. For whatever reason, even though I have notifications enabled for mentions, they never work. I don't know what it is, so I either end up finding out because I watched the video or because I happen to stumble upon, there's like a weird other section within the YouTube app that I sometimes find it under. Oh, the hardships of my life. I know, it's really rough to be me, but we're gonna ignore all of that today because we're gonna talk all things audiobook. I don't talk a ton about my audiobook, I was gonna say usage, listenership. What do we call that? My reading via audiobooks. I don't talk about it terribly much. I actually listen to quite a bit on audio. I'm just a busy gal. I don't always have time to sit down and eyeball read as much as I would like to, so I rely on audiobooks. Without further ado, let's just jump into those questions, shall we? So the first question is, what was the first audiobook you ever listened to? And if you see me looking down, I'm looking at my notes down here because I can't memorize these questions to save my life. This one's actually a lot trickier for me to answer than I had anticipated because I listened to audiobooks as a kid. My library, when I was a child, had books on tape. We would listen to audiobooks quite frequently while we were on road trips as a family or in the evening. A lot of times during the evening, we would be reading some sort of series or classics. My parents were always either reading a book to us or had an audiobook that we were listening to together. The series that I distinctly remember first listening to on audio was the Harry Potter series. The author of that series, she can lick broken glass. What we're not gonna do is harm the trans community. We're gonna let that one go really fast so we can continue on and I don't rant. I think that's the first one. My sisters watched my videos on occasion. They did manage to find my channel. I'm sure they'll text me if I'm wrong because I'm sure that they'll remember something different. From what I remember, it was the Harry Potter series. All right, question number 2 is, who are your favorite narrators? And I have so many that I think just enhance the reading experience so much. The first one, especially for dark romance, Corvin King. Oh my goodness. I know he's done a lot of Lola King's books. He did For the Fans by Nyla Kay. Just has this dark, sexy voice without feeling like he's trying really hard to sound that way. So number 2, probably Abby Craden. She does all of Melina Mackay's books, which was how I was introduced to her. And her voice that she does is so convincing for the Icy heroine and for the Sunshinier heroine. Her icy voice just sounds like sexy and mysterious and sensual. And then she just like can brighten it up in this very convincing way that I'm like, how can you play both people? That's like so impressive to me. A recent love is Matt Haynes. He is straight up voice acting in these audiobooks. How I remember getting introduced to him was with Iron and Ember by Helen Schwerer. We don't know how to say her name on this channel, but I don't think anybody does. Anyway, that's not the point. His voice acting is so spot on. He was delivering fully different characters, and it was exactly what that character would sound like. It was so convincing. I was blown away at the variety of different voices that he could do, how connected he felt to the characters. It was just incredible. Another one that's an auto click and has been for a long time is Zachary Weber or Jacob Morgan. They are the same person in case for some reason you weren't aware. And he has done so many popular authors. He's a very beloved audiobook narrator, so I won't belabor the point. I really remember him a lot from Abby Jimenez's books. And I think he just delivers a lot of emotion in his voice. Like instead of just saying like, I groan, he actually like groans as he's delivering a line. And I just think it's such a convincing performance. He's done a lot with Colleen Hoover, Corinne Michaels, Katharina Mora, Isla Madden Mills, Parker S. Huntington, Abby Jimenez, as I said, Sierra Simone. He's done so much. I'm sure you have come across him, but he is really incredibly talented. A narrating duo that I see a ton is Jacoby Diem and Wesley Chabon. That duo does Kennedy Ryan's books and I think Robin Renee's books as well. And if there's a few others, but oh, that duo together, Wesley Chabon, I don't know how she delivers such a convincing man voice. It is so incredible. How? And the emotion those two bring, because Kennedy Ryan's books are so heavy, is beautiful. They're so good together. And then the last one that I'll mention is Benjamin Sands, and his accents are divine. He can do no wrong with an accent. Yes, it's just that he does this great like quiet strength. It gives me shivers every time. But those are the ones that came to mind immediately. There are just so many incredible audiobook narrators out there that are just doing the Lord's work out here. So question number 3 is, what audiobook platform do you use? So I use Libby. I actually have 4 different library cards, one for my city, Seattle. I have one for my county library, which is actually a different system for some reason. So I have King County Library. I have Broward County that I pay for. They allow anyone that's out of state or like out of their area to be able to pay, like, I think it's like $30 for the year or something like that to use their library system, which does include Hoopla. And then I also have Queer Liberation Library. So I have 4. So I use that very heavily. I used to use Audible so I could get access to more audiobooks, especially from indie authors, but I did end up canceling that because I was able to also get access to Hoopla through Broward County, which I only paid like $30 for the year versus paying like, what is it, like $15 a month or something like that for Audible. A way better deal. And I'd rather have my money going to a library system than the big old bad Amazon. I did end up canceling Audible. I also just didn't use the credit. So it wasn't working out to be a good deal for me. So yeah, I only use the library system now. But one other thing that I'll mention that I think a lot of people forget about is that if you are a KU subscriber, there's a lot of books that have audio included that you can listen to the audiobooks that way. And it's like synced. So you can listen to it on audio and pick right back up eyeball reading later if you have time and want to read it that way at some point. All right, question number 4. What book did you love on audio that you might not have enjoyed reading physically? Easy answer because it's a recent one. Wild Love by Elsie Silver. I tried to read it physically. I could not get through it. The corny factor was too much and I was horrifically bored. It was the only way I made it through it, and it was an enjoyable reading experience on audio. I couldn't read it physically. I thought it was so mid. Another one, and it's not because these books would be bad physically, but I just know that my emotions get the best of me, is Kennedy Ryan. Don't think I could make it through her books reading them physically. I think I would just be so emotionally overwhelmed. I just wouldn't be able to continue on. So audiobooks are the best way so I can cry while doing my makeup on a work trip, as one does. Number 5 is, what is your go-to audiobook speed? 3 times speed now is my go-to. I know that sounds crazy. Over the years of reading audiobooks, I've just increased it and increased it and increased it. And not because I'm like trying to get through books faster or anything like that. Literally because I'm trying to, I want to hear the story faster. I'm so excited about the story that I'm like, crank the speed up. I want to know what happens next and what happens next. I think a really comfortable speed, if there are accents or the narrator does talk a little bit faster for me, is 2.5. But that to me is like slow. If I have to listen to an audiobook at 2.5, I'm like, why? What happened here? Why is this moving so slow? I want to inject books into my brain immediately. That's what I'm trying to do, basically. All right, question number 6 is, do you prefer single or dual / multi-narration? I'm gonna be honest, I have no preference. I think it should match the story. That's the bottom line to me. If it's dual POV, have at least 2 narrators or a full cast, whatever you want to do. If there's single POV, you can have 1 narrator. I don't know. I don't have a huge preference here, although I am slowly being converted to duet narration because it's been more accessible lately. It used to be really rare to find. I've been really liking that when I can find it, but it's not necessarily like I'm like going out of my way to find it necessarily. All right, next up, it says, do you listen while multitasking? Or do you sit and listen like you're watching a movie? Or is that like my single focus? Multitasking, baby. Oh, yes. 1, I'm very busy. 2, I'm prone to rumination because anxiety. Having an audiobook is the perfect way for me to do like menial tasks like working out or running errands or chairs. Sure.
What does she do?
Tables!
But how is tables a job?
I can't know how to hear any more about tables.
Chores are daily tasks around the house. It just allows my brain to focus on something else instead of getting caught up in bad thought patterns, which is really helpful. And also, I just don't have a ton of time to eyeball read anymore. The aforementioned busyness. So I tend to prefer to multitask. That said, sometimes I really do get sucked in to an audiobook so hard. Like the one that I'm thinking of is the Naked Fisherman duet by Jewel E. Ann. I was sitting on the couch just like catatonic listening to the audiobook. So sometimes, once in a blue moon. All right, number 8 is, what is your biggest audiobook pet peeve? Ooh, April mentioned this one in her tag, and I have to heartily agree because I just ran into it recently, and it was one of the worst, or one of the, is it the worst or best example? It's a good example of this thing, but it was the worst I had ever seen it. My brain just short-circuited. I have no idea what to call that. It's a good example of what I hate. There we go. So when the voices are different volumes, especially when one of them is really whispery, and I'm not necessarily even talking between like 2 narrators, I'm talking within one narrator's voice. So Shield and Sparrow, that's not right. Oh my God, I forgot it already. Shield of Sparrows by Devney Perry. I hope I got that right. There is one narrator for the entire thing because it's single POV, but when she did the male voices, it got so quiet, so whispery. I was like, what's being said? And then she'd flip back to the lady voice and I was like, oh my God, my ear holes. It was just so dramatic. I was having a hard time picking a volume for the audiobook to be at. And that's just the latest example. There's plenty of others that do this. Other one is when the voice does not match the character. Whether because it's like someone has been miscast, like you're listening to the voice and it sounds like a rugged 40-year-old that's been a lumberjack and it's supposed to be like a dark romance with a 20-year-old in college and you're like, something went wrong here. Or a mismatch in that the emotion that they're delivering or the way they're delivering it is odd. So like, for example, there's several audiobook narrators that do this where it's supposed to be kind of like melancholy and sad, but it's a sunnier character. And so they do this kind of like, oh shucks sort of voice. Drives me crazy. When the voice doesn't match, like to me, I'm like, let's scrap this. Like, what are we even doing here? All right, number 9 is, if you could make any book into an audiobook, which one would it be and who would narrate it? All of them? Final answer? Honestly, any book that doesn't have an audiobook, I wish had an audiobook. Not necessarily because I personally want to listen to it, but I just know that it creates greater access because there's a lot of people that only read on audio or do not have the opportunity to sit down and eyeball read and stuff. So I just want everyone to have more access to all the books, basically. But also, I feel like a lot of underread authors, if they had an audiobook, more people would be able to find them. Like I think of authors like Charity B or Bryn Ford who are so incredibly talented at their craft, but have just not quite gotten a big readership base just yet. Oh, I just thought of a really good one. Okay, all of those still stand. The Irreparable Duet by Sam Mariano. For one specific reason, it is written in third person and it was kind of hard for me to sink into, but I feel like if I had someone reading it to me, that would make it better. Final answer. I mean, well, my first answer is my final answer, all of them, but especially the Irreparable Duet. Ooh. Oh, look at me go. She did good. Who would I have narrate that though? Okay, I think for the hero, probably like Jason Clark or maybe Aiden Snow. Maybe, because like the hero's older and he's like trying to be a good guy, but he's not a good guy. You know what I'm talking about? They have that deeper commanding voice that I think would really work for that. And then for the heroine, she's younger and it's like really emotional. Probably like Heather Firth, maybe? Oh, who was the gal that narrated The Five by Lily White? Hold on. Rose Dioro? Does that sound right? Does that sound like a name that we know? Yes, because she was so good in The Five. And she is supposed to be like a younger heroine and that's like really emotional. I think, yes. Yeah, either of those two I think would do phenomenal at that. Okay, wow, I really pulled that together at the last second. I'm really proud of myself. All right, number 10 is what is your all-time favorite audiobook experience? The first one that comes to mind is Priest by Sierra Simone.
Boo, boo, tomato, tomato, tomato. Who lets me get on the internet and talk? Definitely meant Saint by Sierra Simone, not Priest. Priest is just a horny book, and the one I'm looking for is a horny but sad book, and that one is Saint. Anyways, we can get back to the video now, so sorry for interruptions.
That one was either Zachary Weber or Jacob Morgan. I can't remember which name he did for that one, but that one was so emotional, so visceral, and the main character has anxiety and depression, I think. Depression for sure, and I know that Zachary Weber has dealt with some of that, so he really just delivered such a convincing performance for that. It was so good. I remember just like holding the tears in. The other one has to be Iron and Ember because Matt Haynes was so good. I listened to that audiobook and immediately I was like, yes, new favorite. He is phenomenal. He is fantastic. Please go listen to that audiobook. Even if you just want to like hear an example of his work, like he was so good. Please go listen to him. Like it elevates that audiobook. Have you put it on hold yet at your library? Have you checked it out? Purchasing it on Audible? Good job, everybody. All right, number 11 is, oh, this is a weird one. Have you ever listened to an audiobook that made you pause and say, wait, what did I just hear? Yes, plenty of times. Usually because the description is so out of left field that I'm like, huh? So like, for example, like Pestilence, I had to rewind the audiobook on that because I was like, he handed her what to eat? A box of dry pasta and mustard. I was like, those aren't foods people eat. So it did take me by surprise. Also, if it's gross, I usually have to rewind. It's like my brain can't compute. It's like, absolutely not. What are you talking about? King of Flesh and Bone by Liv Zander. That one, especially at the beginning, because I didn't know much about this world and I didn't fully understand what I was listening to, like what that scene was. The descriptions were so gross. I was like, there's no way they just said that. It was so graphic, so disgusting. So that's one that comes to mind. Oh,
I'm back. Did you miss me? Well, probably not, to be honest. You probably miss me about as much as you miss that athlete's foot that you got from that time that you forgot shower shoes in the public shower and got athlete's foot and had to get that cream to clear it up. Wow, we really got down a rabbit hole very quickly. I'm gonna get back on topic. So I didn't know where to put this one because it's something that's just happened more recently. There have been several characters with my name as of late, and that has been very jarring because it's so unexpected for me. It's usually a side character, which is why it will catch me off guard because I haven't seen it in the abstract or heard it in association with the books, and then I'm like, what the hell? What's another Baron doing here on my turf? Plus, I just think there's something that's always jarring about hearing your name in association with a different person that isn't you. So that one's been interesting, an interesting experience, but I'm sure people with more common names, you have this happen all the time. So now I can be one of you. Okay, anyways, we're gonna move on and we're gonna get back to my very last one.
oh, this one got me good. When I was reading an Abby Jimenez book, I was on a plane. I still remember this is seared into my brain. I was on a plane. I was gonna go see my parents. I didn't know that her books, or like a good chunk of them, take place in Minnesota, which is where I'm originally from. Shout out to all my Minnesota girls. There's no one from Minnesota watching, but that's okay. I heard the name of a town and I was like, hold on, wait a minute. Rewound it and I was like, I don't think I got that. Rewound it again. It did in fact take place in an area of Minnesota that I was deeply familiar with. I knew exactly where on the map this like fake town was supposed to be. Yeah, I've driven through there before. Yeah, like I know this area very intimately. All right, so those are all the questions. The last one is just about tagging people. I always feel weird about tagging people because I don't want it to be exclusive. So I would love for anyone who's a content creator, consider yourself tagged if you've watched this. It's your turn now. I've left the questions down below and I would love for all of you to answer one of the questions yourselves. I would love to know what your pet peeves are about audiobooks. What are your favorite audiobooks? Who your favorite audiobook narrators are? Give me all the details. Tell me what you like in audiobooks. But with all of that, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like this video if you did end up liking it at any point. And don't forget to subscribe if you would like more content from me. And I really, really, really hope that I see you on my next video. Bye-bye.